Hello, everyone. This is Sonia here with Real Talk Radio. I have started podcasting a daily Word of the Day here on Spreaker, and today's Word of the Day was originally published on my Real Talk Radio blog in June of 2018 and is titled On the Edge. So I am just going to go ahead and share from the blog post what I wrote about being on the edge. It has been on my heart to talk about being on the edge of either getting ready to dive into the deep end or already finding yourself in the deep end and having to navigate through deeper waters with God. Here are just a few of the excerpts that I wanted to share from my podcast episode titled On the Edge. What are some of the characteristics and or signs of being in the deep end of the pool or ocean with God? And I listed just a few here. Unfamiliar terrain, being out of your comfort zone, being aware of carving out your own path, and a feeling that God is pushing you to go places that you don't feel ready for. If you are experiencing any of these things, or a combination of them, God may be inviting you to go deeper with Him. And here is another excerpt. Let me just change my page here. From the excerpt that I wanted to share. I want to encourage you to trust that if God has brought you to the edge of the deep end and you are feeling a push to dive in, that God really has it. Trust that even if you aren't feeling fully ready, God has taken you out of the kiddie pool for a reason, and that it is time to dive into the deep end with Him. Even though it might feel scary and even overwhelming, trust that the kiddie pool is just not going to satisfy or fulfill you anymore, and that God really does know what He is doing. Trust that we really are built for those deeper waters with God. However, I don't use the word trust here lightly at all because I do understand how overwhelming and scary it can be to take a leap of faith into the unknown. It will most likely mean a loss on some level, not only of the familiar, but also a general loss of control. And in this last excerpt from the podcast, I encourage anyone who is going through this right now to be especially kind and patient with themselves. Whether you might be feeling like you are just now standing on the edge of the deep end, or you have already taken the plunge like I feel I have, I just want to encourage you to remain as sensitive and aware of God's Spirit and voice as you can. I want to encourage you to be kind and patient with yourself because the deep end is foreign to us and we will be in uncharted territory. Okay, and that is the end of the blog post. I do hope that this Word of the Day has been a blessing to you. And if you want to hear the full podcast in its entirety, it is again titled On the Edge, and you can find that on my Anchor podcast and on Spotify as well. Just look for Real Talk with your host, Sonia. Again, I want to thank you as always for joining me, and I look forward to being back with you again tomorrow with another Word of the Day. Until then, this is Sonia with Real Talk Radio, signing off for now.